Well, hello, ladies and gentlemen, and very good morning to those of you that might be watching the live stream, excuse me, here in just a few minutes. I am live streaming at somewhat of an odd time slot just because my wife has a doctor's appointment later this morning, and so I'm working a later schedule today. So we're going to get started. This is going to be episode number 33, and we're at almost 1.5 million in the bank. We still have gold on the ground, and we've played this game save for almost 40 hours. Wow. No new mods need to be added to the stream. So let's go ahead and get right into the action here. Not sure if any of my regulars will be joining us in the live stream this morning. Again, most of my regulars, regular viewers that is, would catch my streams in the evening. I do typically record, or I do typically live stream the single player challenge starting around 7:30 p.m. Mountain Time. Good morning, Chris Webb. That's one guy that I can always count on being here. Thanks for coming in this morning. Hope you can multitask and maybe do a little work at the same time. Not sure what you got going on. You may be at home actually, since you might not be on the road right now. But if you are on the road, please drive safe. All right, so we're going to collect our eggs, get that out of the way. We're also going to need to do a little bit of work with our sheep and with our greenhouses this morning because that's just what we need to do. And taking a look at that schedule, if you were with me last night in my live stream last night for episode number 32, then you know that I was sort of dreading the fall weather forecast. And looky there, we've got an additional day of fall weather forecast that's popping in and showing us that we've got rain for the 3 days out of 4 of fall that is visible there. So what that's going to mean for us is that's going to mean more or less what we experienced last fall, the first game year of fall, and that is we're going to have to sort of just hit it heavy on the first day of fall with our harvesting and just harvest the 3 fields up here on top that we can harvest. If we choose to buy the field that is down below, then obviously we will do that. I think that field is canola, so hopefully it will come in and be ready on that first game day as well. So let me see if I can slide this barrel out of the way. These barrels do kind of tend to have a mind of their own, and they do kind of move around a little bit. So let's look at our animal situation here right quick and see if they need water and grass, and they do. So let's go ahead and do that while we're sort of in this mode, in this frame of mind. And let's see, we've got, so Chris says he's watching from home with the kids. All right, Chris, well, thanks for tuning in. I appreciate that. Hope your kids enjoy a little farm sim action. All right, so let's maybe grab a hold of those a little bit better. And we'll haul 2 hay bales over. And so streaming at odd times, or what I would refer to as an odd time, does give me the opportunity of attracting maybe a little bit different audience, maybe an audience from a different region of the world or whatever. So if you are catching this stream for the very first time, thank you for stopping by. Thank you for hanging out with me this morning. We've still got 4 days on maintenance, so we're okay there. So we'll go ahead and drop this over here in the barn, and like so. And then we need to head out and grab our manure bucket and fill our greenhouses up with manure. So basically the reason why I am at home this morning, again, is because my wife has a follow-up appointment with the ear, nose, and throat surgeon that did her sinus surgery on Monday. And so it's something that we're looking forward to, because hopefully he has the results back from the cultures that he took out of her sinuses. And my apologies if this is perhaps maybe not the best conversation for early in the morning, but basically anyway, so we're looking forward to hopefully hearing the results of that. You know, it's kind of one of those tricky situations. You know, you might think, okay, well, we might be hopeful if the doctor tells us, oh, there's no infection in there at all. But then again, because this thing keeps coming back fairly frequently, she's had, I think, 5 or 6 sinus infections over the last 18 months. And so we're kind of hoping that maybe, just maybe, he will find something, or he will see something, and the results will come back, and they can basically concoct or build an antibiotic type solution that will knock this stuff out of there. Because the thing is, with antibiotics, they're quite tricky. I'm not a doctor, and I don't play one on TV. And by the way, I didn't sleep on Holiday Inn Express last night, and that's a little joke for my American viewers if you're familiar with those TV commercials. But in any event, so I don't necessarily know what I'm talking about per se, but with some of the antibiotic stuff that she's been taking, I think it's just mainly just been sort of hitting the high spots, if you will, on the infection, and not really fully eradicating it. So it's just kind of going in, maybe with a kitchen knife when you need, or butter knife when you need to go in there with a nice sharp machete and get it all out of there. So hopefully there'll be a solution for her that will sort of once and for all maybe remedy this out. So yeah, it is kind of like a catch-22. Chris Webb says, yep, it is. It's sort of one of those things that something is going on. Something is certainly plaguing her and causing these problems, and so being able to have a plan. And of course, when we switched ENTs, which is sort of what led us to the surgery that she had on Monday, because we basically went with an ENT that we used to use many years ago, and he sort of retired, and then he came back. He started a new practice. I guess he got bored playing golf, maybe. I don't know. But I'll tell you what, let's go ahead and do this as well. Let's go ahead and move a few wool bells out of the way, just to make sure that we don't have an issue with. I'm not sure at what point wool stops producing in the summer. It slows down. Obviously, our spring is our largest wool producing season, but it does slow down at some point. But and it basically stops at some point. But I don't know precisely when that is. So, but we just want to make sure that we are on the safe side, because again, while we're out doing other things, making money, like sawing logs and timber and stuff like that, we don't want to have that notice up on the screen that says no more room for wool pallets. And I think that I think that they will eventually. It doesn't actually stop the action of the shearing of the sheep or whatever. So basically, it will go ahead and produce more wool once you move the pallet out of the way. But still, that's an annoying little sign, and I'd rather not stare at it. All right, so let's drop that off, and we will, just for time's sake, go ahead and reconnect our bucket, because we'll need to clean up the sheep before we end the stream. All right, so let's go ahead. I'm keeping an eye on my time here, because I am going to have to very briefly pause the video, or actually pause my game. I'm going to keep the live stream going, but I will need to pause just very briefly. So in about, I don't know, about 10 minutes. And just go and make sure that the wife is doing okay. And then I will basically be right back. Literally just a few minutes. All right, so we'll give them some water. So at 29%, 595, we'll kind of keep an eye on that and see if how much. Yeah, that's close enough. Close enough for government work, as I say. And now we'll go and fill this up and head up to the greenhouses and give them water. And that should be just fine. And our slow Ford tractor. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 7, 8 bales of wool there. Plus, I think still two more, maybe 2.5 more over at the sheep facility. So, sort of the moment that we see a great demand, let's just look at prices right quick while we're here filling up water. Wool 27.59. So I don't know. I would hope that would will come on up a little bit, maybe with the great demand. And what I would like to maybe see happen, if it's possible, if we can get our wishes, I would like to see maybe a great demand come in this year, this game year. That way we can sell our first year, roughly year and a half of wool, because you might remember we only had 30 sheep in the first year. We bumped those numbers up to 100 this year. I would also just say that if you are in the stream for the first time and you've never seen one of my videos, or you haven't had the opportunity to visit my channel, I would appreciate it if you would hit the subscribe button and also hit the like button. It helps me out tremendously. Plus, you'll want to be a subscriber, because at some point in this live stream I will tell you about the giveaway. I'm giving away 3 copies of Farm Sim 17 expansion DLC in November, and I'll tell you all about that and how you can win a copy of that DLC expansion pack that many folks have been anxiously anticipating and excited about. So can we turn without hitting our crop? Ugh. We damaged just a little bit of it there. All right, so we'll go park this up and then basically get ready with our logging actions this morning. We have been logging. This is maybe the 3rd episode that we've been logging in year 2. No, I'll take that back. We logged in spring quite a bit. So we did take a break. We sort of took a break while we planted our crops. That's what we did. That's kind of why I'm thinking that this has only been a little bit of time. So let's go ahead and jump out. Let's just very quickly tab through our trains to slow those guys down, because otherwise that may be a problem for us. And we're in our Mack truck here, so let me just get it fired up. Let me check the 9 days. Okay, 9 days. 9 days until maintenance is required. Oops, forgot we parked that trailer there. We are working up here in what I call the high country, just simply because there's going to come a point in time that we're not going to be able to maneuver in this sort of terrain. And when that time comes, we'll want to make sure that we can work in the lower flatlands, lower flat areas. An interesting concept, if you were around with my winter time last year, you know that I had a bear of a time, pun intended there, with maneuvering around in the snow, because of all the many layers of snow that we had on the ground. And that was a very difficult process for us, and it slowed us down tremendously from what we were sort of accustomed to. And so the interesting thing is that Old Guy Farmer is nearing close to, or he is in his winter, or at least he can see the forecast for his winter year 2 season. And that is showing that he has got a mild winter coming. He had a mild winter last season as well. So that's why I'm sort of preparing myself, or preparing ourselves, since you guys are sort of in this together with me, sort of preparing for hopefully not to get stuck here, which I think we might have. I did install the sawdust mod yesterday. I'm not sure if I'm going to use the sawdust mod as it's sort of intended. I don't know if I can push this truck out of the way or not. But we're gonna try it. That's funny how the beep 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 sounds come on, even though the truck is not officially being powered, but it's going backwards, and I guess that's all that it really needs to be able to go beep beep beep. All right, so we survived that little crucial mistake. We'll have to have our guys in the garage give that a fix. So anyway, hello, Papas, I think is what I call you. I've seen you before in my stream. I appreciate you coming by and saying hello. We'll see if we can get these other little sticks over here. Maybe not on this load. I don't want to get stuck again. I think the reason why we got stuck was not necessarily so much to do with the sawdust. I think it was more to do with the timber that was stuck underneath. So what we're going to do is we're going to move this guy just up here out of the way a little bit, move him up here to the fire lookout tower. I need to take a very, very short break. I'm going to be gone no more than just a few minutes, so please don't go anywhere. I will come back and we will continue all the fun and everything that is my flight sim, or not my flight sim, my farm sim live stream. So I'm going to pause the game here and I'm going to put this up here on the screen and I will be right back. Please stay tuned. All right, thank you all so much for understanding that. We'll go ahead and save the game right quick and we'll continue here our gameplay. All right, so let's go ahead and start cutting some more timber. I'm a little bit out of breath. I ran up 2 flights of stairs. My home office is down in my basement. I finished it out a number of years ago, 4 or 5 years ago or so, and finished it out for an office and sort of a man cave, if you will. Let's see, saw mod is amazing. Try to install 11-meter cut option for Scorpion. Suits better in this legal trailer. I didn't know that there was an 11-meter cut mod. That's interesting. Can you tell me where that mod might be? You can't post a link. The Nightbot's gonna yell at you if you do. But if you can tell me if that's at Mod Hoster or just where I might find that. Yeah, Chris, she's doing fine. I just needed to make sure that well, her nights are still kind of rough because congestion and all that kind of stuff, but I know she had a rough night last night because I woke up at some point and she was having some, I know she was awake anyways. what I haven't necessarily decided is whether or not I'm going to take the time to pick up the sawdust. The dilemma that I sort of see is that the sawdust mod would have been possibly a little more beneficial to us had we been using it when we cleared some of the trees around the main farm, because we could have then picked up the sawdust. What I'm sort of thinking or sort of wondering is the amount of time that it's going to take me to pick up the sawdust. How many trees could I cut down? How many trees could I haul to the sawmill, which obviously is more valuable. So that's kind of what I'm thinking. You know, I'm just trying to determine just how to best go about it. Trying to cut these trees as best as possible over the same spot to minimize if I do decide to pick up the sawdust, but that hasn't always worked as planned. Or I tell you what, Mr. Papas, if you have a link for that, if you want to email me that, you can email it to me at grizzlybearsims@gmail.com. grizzlybearsims@gmail.com. Email me the link to that 11-meter mod, and I will double check that is going to be okay with the challenge rules and everything. I think it would be. I certainly don't think that there is any restrictions on. Hi, Aiden. You know, you asked this quite a few times. This is not a multiplayer environment. This is single player. So you can't join, unfortunately, because it's just being played on my local machine. But I know you've asked that question a few times over the span of a few streams that you've joined. I appreciate you joining. But I've answered that question multiple times, or we've talked about it multiple times, about the fact that this is a single player challenge and not taking place on multiplayer. So I do have a multiplayer server. As a matter of fact, I've been in discussions with a few other guys, including Farmer Klein and Duck Zorley, other members of the Three Dudes Gaming Network, and we're going to hopefully get the server up and running. It won't be on this map though, and it won't be a part of this challenge, but hopefully we'll get it up and running where folks that are serious about farm sim gameplay can come out and enjoy the time with us. If you want to play like a Yahoo and go in and drive tractors through crops and stuff like that, we don't want you to come play with us. But if you can play serious, then we would like to have that possibility opened up. Ponzi Scorpion King wood cutting up to 11 meters on FS17 LT. Okay, I will see if I can find that. Farmer Klein might actually also be using it, because I was thinking last night as I was watching, or yesterday afternoon when I was watching him cut timber, I thought his cuts were a little bit longer coming off of his Scorpion King. So, and you're right, that will basically produce that will definitely produce more profit. Because essentially profit on timber is based on the size in the length. So sort of the longer and the thicker the wood is, the more money they're going to basically pay for that. Alright, so I'm going to tell you here about my giveaway, and then I'll tell you how that you can enter the giveaway, and then at some point in the stream I will provide the code word or the word of the day that you essentially need to know in order to be eligible for the giveaway. So sort of as part of my giving back to the Farm Sim community, and especially to sort of say thank you to those of you who have come out and watched my live streams when it's been, you know, when time has permitted for you. Obviously, I know that a lot of my streams during the Monday through Friday work week are in the evening my time, and that is in the middle of the night for some folks in places like Europe and such. But obviously, you can catch my live streams and you can enter that way as well. So essentially, I am giving away 3 copies of the upcoming Farm Sim 17 Platinum Expansion DLC. This is the expansion pack that's going to include the new map, that is going to include the new equipment for harvesting sugarcane, and I believe the new map is set in South America, I believe. So it's sort of Giant's way of sort of expanding their territory and everything, and exposing players that do enjoy playing this game in, say, for example, in South America and places like that. Gives them the opportunity to have a map that's sort of regionalized for them and offers crops that are typically grown in those areas. And so I'm giving away 3 copies of this DLC expansion pack. The way that you can win it is by watching my videos. During the course of the video, I will provide a code word or a keyword or a couple of words that I will verbally announce. You can then take this code word or this keyword, and then you email me that. All the information is located down below the video screen. You'll get my email address from my Discord server, and you'll email me, and I will enter you in the drawing. So the more videos you watch, the more code words that you end up, you know, basically hearing and obtaining from the videos and sending back to me via email, the greater the chances you'll have of winning. This challenge will be a total of 72 episodes. In length, and this is episode number 33. So as you can tell, I'm not even halfway through yet. And so if you were to watch all 72 episodes, either live stream or through the archive, then you could enter the contest 72 times. Quite a few people are doing just that. Quite a few people have been watching these episodes quite religiously, I should say. And so their chances are pretty darn good of winning. Of course, I'm going to be taking the names and throwing them into a big hat, and my wife is going to be drawing the lucky names, so it's going to be completely based on luck of the draw, if you will, and not necessarily, you know, who has watched the most. Just going to take all the names and, like I said, put them in a hat, and she's going to draw the lucky winner, and then we will announce that, or I will announce that on Sunday, November the 6th. The DLC officially releases from Giants on or about the 14th of November. And of course, my giveaway is, of course, contingent upon their release date. So if for whatever reason, if they realize that they need to adjust their release schedule by a week or two or more or whatever, then you'll get awarded the prize when Giants releases the DLC. All right, we'll do some more cutting up here. I'm gonna make another another pile over here, I think. Let me cut this way so I can kind of line them up. Let's see how I want to do this. All right. Now there are many other farmers that are participating, virtual farmers that are participating in this challenge. You can find the links to their YouTube channels all down below the video screen. And I would encourage you to go and visit their streams if you can catch them live, or visit their recorded archives and give them a good cheer as they progress through their 3 years of gameplay. And of course, all this is responsible. The person responsible or behind this challenge is none other than Old Guy Farmer himself. And I would certainly like to say how much I appreciate Old Guy Farmer for not only creating or editing this Gold Crest Valley map for the challenge play, but also coming up with the challenge itself. It's been rather fun. I have learned a lot about myself. I've learned a lot about the game in playing it in this fashion. And what I mean by that is basically playing it in a fast pace. We are playing 16 days per season, and we are playing at 15x time. And so basically, you know, when you're taken outside of your comfort zone, you often have the opportunity to learn something. Learn something about yourself, learn something about your whatever it is that you're doing, because you kind of have to break the mold. You have to break the routine. You have to break the way that you've sort of always done it. And oftentimes we get in that rut of doing something, and somebody may ask us, they're like, well, why do you do it this way? Well, we do it this way because it's the way we've always done it. And so that is sometimes a good thing, but sometimes it's not. And doing it differently, taking advantage of something that focuses our attention and focuses our styles and everything a little bit differently, I think is often a good thing. And again, like I said, I've learned a lot about myself, and I've learned a lot about my style of gameplay. And my style of gameplay, what has been before, is completely different than what I am playing right now. This is, I'm sure you guys have heard the saying, fish out of water. Well, yeah, this has been pretty much a fish out of water kind of concept for me, playing it at this speed and not having the luxury of being able to do a lot of thinking and contemplating and stuff like that, because every minute that goes by seems like an hour or so. Now, we did take a small intermission while I stepped away. We've been streaming for 34 minutes, and I would estimate that I was away for about 3 minutes, and it's already almost 1 o'clock game time. And of course, we did start at about 4:30, I think, almost 5 a.m. Seasons does, because the days are longer, obviously, in the summertime than they are in the spring and winter time. So it does sort of incorporate that into the play. And so we are having the luxury of longer days, which is clearly a good thing. Oops. I'm hoping that my logs stay semi up here on the hill and not roll too far down. Great skills, Papa says, on making piles of logs using Scorpion. I'm impressed. Well, thank you. And I will tell you, let's just, because I don't like to brag or take credit, but when, you know, oftentimes repetition is the best thing. 906 logs that we have cut since we started this map. So that is the reason, my friend, why I am, I suppose, appearing to be somewhat good at this is, yeah, repetition, doing something over and over and over. Eventually you will get better at it, or you will basically get so frustrated and say, you know, something, I never want to do this again. But, and then considering also, and I don't know if you've watched my Mountain Valley Farm series, but on Mountain Valley Farm I cut down 300 trees on that series. So I have cut down somewhere around 1,200 trees on Farm Sim 17, give or take the odd tree here or there that I've cut down with a chainsaw on other various maps because I needed, you know, it was in the way or something like that. But typically only Mountain Valley Farm and this map are the only two maps that I have done any amount of timber work, you know, clearing out stuff. Obviously for this map, we have been doing it for the purpose of making money, because obviously the challenge is about who has the most money at the end of the third year. So, let's see, Farm Lad, hello, welcome to the stream. Thanks for stopping by. I do appreciate it. Simon Williams, I'm sorry if I did not say hi to you. My apologies. I'm just noticing that you said hello. So thank you for coming in. And my apologies for missing that. I do have chat up on a second screen next to me. And sometimes if the chat is rolling by kind of quickly, especially if I'm doing something where I'm trying to keep from driving off a cliff with my Scorpion, then obviously I find it hard to kind of keep one eye on the Farm 17 play and one eye on the chat, so I sometimes miss things, and my apologies. But Chris is doing a good job helping out with the stream and helping to welcome people, so that's why we do this. That's why we live stream, is I enjoy meeting new people through streaming and through my YouTube channel, my videos and stuff like that. I've met some really incredibly talented people like Mr. Doug Zorley, and of course Chris Webb, and many others, you know, and I remember so many of your names from other streams and from, you know, your comments that you leave on my videos and stuff like that, and I really do appreciate it. I enjoy helping others is something that I really enjoy about my YouTube channel and my streaming and stuff like that. It's why I keep a rather extensive mod list. So anything that you see, by the way, the Mack truck, the sawdust mod, and obviously the trailer, the Timber Runner trailer, which is a mod by Stevie. Those are all on my mod spreadsheet, and you can get those just by visiting my website, grizzlybearsims.com, and clicking on the add-ons and mod directory. So I know I have, in the past, I've sort of waited until almost the very end to announce the word of the day. I'm going to go ahead and get these smaller trees here, because they may get in the way as we try to load these logs up. I have waited, like I said, I've waited a little longer to give the word of the day. And so I will give the word of the day here just as soon as I can consider this tree, or convince this tree to let me cut it, and it won't, so we'll let it live. The word of the day for today is Old Guy Farmer, because Old Guy Farmer is who is responsible for not only this challenge, but this edited, wonderful edited version of Goldcrest Valley. And you know, I had said once, I suppose many weeks ago now, that I was not ever interested in playing another Goldcrest Valley edit, just simply because I had played so many of them, seen so many of them on YouTube. But obviously, this challenge sort of sparked my interest, and I'm like, okay, got to do this. I got to do this. Farmer Klein was doing it. I was rather interested in doing it and decided to go ahead and give it a try as I stack this wood on top of the house there. That's cool. That's kind of built them a little lean-to there. They can put a sheet or something over that and make themselves a tent. That's 3 words, mate. Yeah, I know. I'm sorry. My code words are either single words or maybe they're multiple words, and they typically have something to do with what is ever going on with the live play or the gameplay for this particular day. And so I've been talking about Old Guy Farmer, and so I want to give credit where credit is due, because if it wasn't for let me get on my soapbox here for just a little bit, and those of you who know me are probably saying, oh boy, here we go again. But no, I mean it, because folks, let me tell you, if it wasn't for our very talented modding community, how long do you think we would still be playing Farm Sim 17 if there were no mods available? So think about it. Farm Sim 17 has been out since roughly November of 2016, so just 10 months, something like that. And think about it, if you had no additional equipment, so basically you only had the default equipment, you only had the maps that came with it, the 2 maps, Sosnovka and Goldcrest Valley, would you still be playing? Would you still be playing Farm Sim 17 if there were no mods? Hello, Doughboy. I can answer this for Doughboy. I know what he's going to say, and his answer would be no, he would not. At least not with the intensity that we play this map. I mean, I've got, I don't know how many hundreds of hours I have in 17. I know I don't have as many hours in Farm Sim 17 as my good friend Duck Zorley, because I think he accumulated like 500 or 600 in the first couple of months that it was out. But still, we would not be playing this. If we're 100% honest with ourselves, we would not be playing it. So the reason why we're still able to play a game well into, say, 10 months after it's been released, and quite honestly, this game will continue to be interesting for many of us until Farm Sim 19 comes out. We obviously owe all of that to the modding community. So that's why I say, I'm very appreciative of Old Guy Farmer. That's why that is the word of the day. So again, the word of the day for this episode number 33, is Old Guy Farmer, because he has created a map and created a challenge that has brought a lot of folks together and allowed a lot of folks to sort of get to know each other and also compete just a little bit. And of course, what is it that they say about competition? It's good. It is. And so, let's see. Doughboy said, yep, I was right. I figured. Doughboy says, heck no, I wouldn't play. And you're right. I mean, think of other games that you might know of that either doesn't have mods or doesn't have as interesting of mods. And let's face it, we've got some of the best modders in the simulation-based game community, creating maps and utilities. I mean, think about the awesome utilities like Courseplay, like the Seasons mod, like GPS, like all the other stuff. Think about guys like Stevie, who devote so many hours of their time and are so, the thing I like about Stevie is, if there's something that's wrong with the map, he's going to make it right, and he's going to lose sleep over it until he has the chance to make it right. And so, Mr. Pappas, my stacking abilities have kind of gone a little bit south here, but I think it kind of started off with the right intentions, as we still continue to pile lumber onto the edge of that little house there. All right. camera turned around here where I can see. Yeah, that would be a good challenge. My guess is it wouldn't be very long. And like, you know, Duck Zorley says, without the big M, you know, it wouldn't be fun for him. Without many of the mods that I enjoy, it just wouldn't be fun. Again, mods really truly make the game. And I suppose, you know, I think about the fact that, okay, I'm a PC-based gamer. I always have been. We were sort of talking about this a couple of streams ago when somebody was asking about mods and stuff for consoles, and you know, the last console-based video game that I played was the Atari 2600 back in the 80s. I got a Commodore 64 and started playing the games that were available for it. And then when I got my first PC back in the very early 1990s, I started playing Flight Sim, Microsoft Flight Sim, and that was really what got me hooked on simulation-based games. And of course, I played Flight Sim for many years before I played anything else. And really, my first exposure into other simulation-based games outside of Flight Sim really wasn't until ETS2 and Farm Sim 15. That's really what exposed me to those. And of course, with the console guys, until just this last version of Farm Sim, so until Farm Sim 17, these guys were sort of experiencing what we've been talking about, having a game that basically has zero modding capabilities, zero mods to be able to add to it, to be able to expand the game beyond that of what Giants gives you. And soybeans. All right. So we need to potentially shift gears for just a second, because one of the things that I said was I was going to make sure that we did our best to take advantage of what am I thinking? What's the word I'm thinking about here? Great demands. And so we may actually go and see. Let's pull up our stuff here. Okay, so soybeans. What are soybeans? Right there. 1024 Fred's bulk grains. And we've got 9,443, and the price is going up. So let's stop this for now. Let's go ahead and park our Ponzi out of the way. All right, where'd we leave our? We left our log truck up here on the hill. Let's see, who's jumped in the stream? Oh, nobody's jumped in the stream. Duck Zorley's talking about Falcon 64 on the Commodore 64, yeah. All right, so we're going to disconnect from this log trailer. We'll leave it right here. Hopefully Doughboy or Duck Zorley or some of those guys won't come around and steal it. And since this is the fastest thing we own, this Mack truck, this is how we're going to deliver our soybeans to market. Because our Ford tractors, God love them, they are cheap and cheerful, but my gosh, they are slow. So we had the hitch installed on the Mack truck for a reason, for this reason alone, so that we can haul trailers with it. Okay. Now, where in the world is Fred's Bulk Grains? Let's look on the map. Fred's Bulk Grains. Way over there. Okay, next to the sawmill. Doughboy says, I'll take the Ponzi before the trailer, worth more. I would sell it all useless and buy more big M's. Well, I think that timber right now, all joking aside, Digzorley, I think that timber is worth. Wow, we just barely got through there. I think that timber is worth more than grass and silage, or at least we have the opportunity to cut timber more. Obviously, we're dependent on grass and grass growing and being able to cut the grass, and then obviously we have the delay with the fermentation of the grass into silage. With the challenge, we can't use the BGA. So, I mean, as far as this gameplay is concerned, timber is our chief money-making endeavor. And of course, that's why Farmer Klein is doing sort of a mixture of grass, silage bales, and then also doing timber in the off-season because, you know, obviously he can only mow grass for a certain amount of time. Nope, that's not the way. This thing's down here. Is that it? Can we sell here? Oh, that's the railroad tracks. I'm completely confused now. Can we sell to Fred's Bulk Grains without the train? I guess we're going to find out. This is Goldcrest Valley. This is an edit of Goldcrest Valley. I don't know if we can sell to Fred's Bulk Grains without the train. Or can we? Maybe we can. What's this? Let's see what this does. Yep, this is doing something. Okay. Yep, this is an old guy farmer edit of Goldcrest Valley, and this is for challenge purposes. So $10,488 off of the sale of our soybeans. So that is pretty good. I'll take that. You know, there's always a chance that we could get more for it at a later time, but then again, there's always the chance that we could not get more for it at a later time. And so, you know, there goes OJ again. So basically, I have just learned to sort of go with my gut, and that's kind of why our plan for the fall harvest is going to be to start on autumn day 1 with our fall harvest. Hopefully at least our 3 main fields will be ready by then. Not sure about the soybeans that we've planted somewhat late, but we may have to catch those hopefully in the 5th or 6th game day of fall before winter. Otherwise, we most likely will lose them. Hopefully we will not, but we might. And so this is a challenge map. It's a challenge that about 5 or 6 or so are playing, and basically we're playing 3 years on this map with seasons, 3 seasons years, with 6 game days per season. And so the end result is to see who has the most money at the end of the 3rd year after we sell everything, sell our harvest, sell our equipment, sell our animals, sell our fields. Hello, Roland. Welcome to the stream. I like that Mac. Wish that have it on PS4. Yeah, it is a beautiful mod. It's one of my favorite modded trucks in the game. This thing really has some cool features. The only thing I wish that worked a little bit better would be the mirrors. But this is a pretty nice truck, and I quite like it a lot. All right, hook back up to our log truck here. And we've got it 6:20, so we need to basically play until 9 o'clock in the game for that to credit, for that to count for a full day, a full game day. Oops. All right, that's a pretty full load if I do say so myself. So let's go ahead and haul this guy to the mill. Tommy, welcome to the stream. Brilliant idea. Not sure what you're talking about. Let's see. Oh, maybe you're talking about the challenge. Okay. I was a little bit focused on making sure we stayed on the road and everything. And again, guys, my chat, I do have chat up on my right-hand monitor, but need to make sure that we don't flip this timber trailer, and trying to get as much hauled to the mill in the next, let's see, 6:30, so in the next 2.5 hours, which will go by very quick, probably in the next, probably about 10 more minutes or so. 15 minutes of the stream is left. And then my wife has a doctor's appointment, a follow-up appointment with the surgeon, and then I've got to go to the office. But I do plan to live stream again tonight. I'll be back in my normal evening time slot, probably around 7:30, 7 to 7:30, something like that, Mountain Time. Well, there will be another challenge. I don't know what it's going to be, when it's going to be. Basically, this is going to be pretty much it for me until I'm done with the challenge. I can't. Some of these guys are doing another challenge on Mountain Valley Farm, Doughboy, which I know you're familiar with that map. And that challenge doesn't have to be live streamed. There's basically, it's only the only thing to win is bragging rights. There's not a prize involved with it. But you know, this is taking quite a bit of my time because I'm trying to get it all sort of done. I'm trying to stay ahead of schedule just in case I've got to travel, or just in case I get busy with other things. And so between this and between trying to do my Mountain Valley Farm series and maybe occasionally releasing a ETS2 or ATS video is pretty much the only amount of time that I have. Okay, Doug Zorley, have a good night's sleep. I'll probably catch you later tonight if you got time and you can watch on your Friday. Hey DC, welcome to the stream. Good morning to you. Just kind of an early morning stream for me. Wife's got a doctor's appointment this morning, so I'm working somewhat late today. And just thought I would throw a stream up when I didn't really have much better things to do until she gets ready to go to her appointment. And then we'll end it, and then I hope to be back on later tonight during my normal, sort of my normal time slot, whatever is normal for me. I think that'll work. She's doing much better. I think the pain, well, I've only had a few words with her this morning, but I think that I think she rested better last night than she did the night before, and than she did the first night, obviously. So I think that hopefully we're going to understand what this whole sinus infection is about, and hopefully get maybe a treatment that's sort of geared towards that. You know, oftentimes antibiotics are thrown at things because they don't really know what else to do, and so from what we understand, they can sort of customize you know, an antibiotic treatment if they know precisely what the type of infection is. And so we're hoping that we get that sort of information. Doughboy says, GBS, if you have 5 or 10 minutes before tonight's stream to talk on Discord, let me know. I want to discuss something with you. Okay. I will, I won't know. I can't necessarily predict that right now, but I will certainly keep that in mind. Try to stack this thing as neat as possible. I think sort of each load, if it's stacked nice and neat and has as much on here as we possibly can get, is worth anywhere from 25 to, or from about, yeah, about 20 to 25,000. And let's see which side we're on, right side, so we need to switch over and then empty. And just so you guys know, we did some testing, or actually Farmer Klein did some testing, but I was watching it, so I'll use the word we because I was watching it and he was doing the testing. But there's no money value difference between selling the timber at that little yellow square versus taking the time to back it into the pond or into the water. So that's why I'm not taking the time to back it up. You guys know how poorly I back up things. And so trying to take advantage of every second that we possibly can, especially on these long days of sunlight, because obviously it makes it a little easier to see things. So I am going to be looking into that. I am going to be looking into that mod that modifies the Ponzi to cut longer lengths of wood. I agree that I wasn't aware that that mod existed. So I think for what we're doing, especially using this trailer, I think that mod would be in our best interest. Plus it'll give us a little bit more money for our timber, and I think Farmer Klein might be using it as well. So I will look for that today. Thank you to Mr. Pappas for suggesting that. telling us about it, I should say, because I was not aware of it. That's not where I wanted to go with this. Come on, I think I can. I think I can. Okay, that might not have been the best idea to stack it like that, but hey, we did it. We did it, we own it. We'll make it work. Okay, are we on auto load or not? Here we are. Come on, jump in there. Alright, that's just not wanting to cooperate. It's getting dark, so what we're going to do is, for the sake of my madness, we're going to drop this timber trailer over here, and we'll come up and we'll deal with that stuff in the next game day. We'll drive this back down to the farm, because we need to clean up after our sheep really quick, and then I need to basically get going. Keep our sheep clean so we keep our productivity levels on the wool production up to 100%. Let's just, for grins and giggles here, let's just look at our animals here, because we might be out of the No, they're still producing wool. I think it was like around 59% or so. Obviously, it's not as much as it is in the spring, but it's enough to continue to do the effort, and that is keeping them cleaned, keeping them fed, obviously keeping them fed. Fed, watered, greenhouses taken care of, so we won't need to do that. Next episode, which will be episode 34, which will represent the fourth game day of summer. We'll collect our eggs, like so. Like that. All right. Let's get out here in the middle here. Look at our nice starry night that we have here. We'll save our game. Let's just also look at how much we did make on wood sales today. Not as much as I would have wanted to, but we still have a good pile to start on tomorrow. So 52,000. Plus we sold $10,000 worth of soybeans. We've got our property income of $7,744 on our greenhouses. So it's all going to add up. We're all good. Okay, we'll do Alt N to skip the night. And then 5 o'clock in the morning, bright and early. Save it. And then we will quit the game to the main start screen. Thank you all so much for watching. I appreciate you guys hanging out with me in this somewhat odd time slot here. I will hopefully stream again this evening around between 7 and 7:30 Mountain Time, unless there's other things that are going on. I am working late tonight, so basically I will be leaving the office, coming home, grabbing a bite to eat, and then heading downstairs to do the stream. It'll just be one stream if I stream at all. But anyway, if I don't, my apologies, but hopefully I will be able to around that time slot. So thank you all so much for watching. Have a wonderful, wonderful Thursday. I'm still having to think what day of the week it is, as I had explained last night. But anyway, we'll get there. So thank you all again so much. Have a wonderful Thursday. Have a good day. Take care of each other and yourselves. God bless you all. Talk to you very soon. Bye-bye.